Chairman, and I see Dan Bernier is here about the deer program. If you could go a little bit over that, I'd appreciate an update on this. Some of the other freeholders might as well. I do know, speaking from what I hear around the county, that there should be an extended program or enhanced program this year. Although I don't know that for sure. I just hear anecdotally there's a lot of deer, more than they've noticed, and all the rest of that stuff. If you could talk a little bit about how this plan is similar to last year's plan and just going into this year. I know you and I have had some correspondence back and forth because I've got some direct questions to me, but if you could, that'd be helpful.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, freeholder, the major difference this year is that the past 2 winters have been very severe, particularly at those time periods where the hunts were being conducted. And it had a great effect on the number of deer that were harvested, particularly in Lenape Park and Ashbrook Reservation, both of which are low-lying swamps, a lot of snow, and more particularly a lot of ice conditions, which cause deer to just lay down for days and not move around, which therefore makes it impossible for hunters to harvest them. So the harvests were off both years from what we expected, particularly in those areas. The Watchung Reservation harvest was still pretty much on track. What we are looking to do this year is to again put hunters into Nomahegan Park, specifically 2 hunters to help pick up that extra density of deer that we see in the Lenape area. We also know that Nomahegan becomes a refuge for deer from Lenape when the hunting starts. Deer will run across the boulevard and stay there. And at Ashbrook Reservation, which I know you're more familiar with, we've been hunting there for several years, but we're finding again that deer are using adjoining parkland, specifically Oak Ridge Park, as refuge. They cross over the tracks into wooded areas there. So we're looking to put 2 hunters into Oak Ridge Park in those heavily wooded areas to try to take advantage of the extra deer in those areas. Overall, we're looking to use 40 hunters, which is 2 more than last year. The difference of the 2 is the 2 hunters we would be putting into Nomahegan Park. All of our numbers are based on spotlight counts that were conducted in April and May, which is a process that we do typically every year. And from that, we run out formulas that show projected densities at this time of year. And our numbers of hunters and numbers of deer that we'd like to harvest are based on those counts.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's expanded on some level to some other areas and pick up some of that. It kind of tracks with the feedback I'm hearing and you're noticing too, maybe from a population standpoint. But Dan, I got to tell you, I think you've done a terrific job managing this program over many years. It has been always easy, particularly in the early years when this was starting. But I think the residents are safer as a result, and the streets are clearer, and I think it's been a good program. That's something we need to continue. I'm glad to see that you've recognized the need to add a couple of spots. I think that's a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the overall population of the deer you have, at least in our park?
Well, there's no number for overall. We can tell you densities or projected number of deer within specific park areas. So for instance, in the Watchung Reservation, we believe that the population at this time of year is about 150. The density, the preferred density is 20 per square mile or less, which means that there is an excess of at least 87 deer in the Watchung Reservation. In the Lenape, Nomahegan area, there's 145 excess deer. In Ashbrook and Oak Ridge, our goal is to take out 71. At the request of the City of Summit, we would continue to put 2 hunters into the Sacred River Park in Summit. The yield up there is not much. We're hoping for 5. And in Hawk Rice Sanctuary, again, the City of Linden is requesting us to hunt that property adjoining the Linden Municipal Landfill. The number there is small. We project 14 deer, but the density says that there should be 0 in an area that small. It's only 0.19 square mile. In a property that size, there should be no deer, so our goal is to take out 14. Realistically speaking, we probably won't get them all, and we still have deer coming and going. They don't tend to
Is there any
respect
place
their
where there's
property.
not enough deer?
Is there any place
Is
where
there
there
any place
are?
where there's not enough
No.
deer?
I don't believe in the whole state of New
I
Jersey.
wasn't
there
there,
is
deer
any place.
relocation? Okay, thank you. Any other freeholders around it?
Just if you could give us an update on the Berry Summit.
All I can tell you on the Barron Summit is that I got a call a few days ago from a resident who put his trash out, and a half hour later found a bear going through it. And his house is on Rotary Drive in Summit, which backs up to the Watchung Reservation. Typically, we only hear reports of a bear in the Watchung Reservation area every year or every other year, and usually, we get 1 or 2 reports that they tend to pass through. Those reports typically come in late spring, early summer, when the young male bears are being kind of forced out of their family area and have to find some new property. Of all that I've seen, they tend to not stay in the Watchung Reservation or much in Union County at all. They just pass on through looking for something bigger. My personal feeling is that the Watchung Reservation, as big as we all think it is and as undeveloped as we think it is, for a bear, it's just not enough space for them. So they check it out and then they keep moving on. So other than that one report I got the other day, I haven't heard anything more.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions from the board? Thank you very much.